and welcome to this tutorial. Today we're creating a cool casino vibe, poker chips stacking up with a smooth spinning motion. It's a simple technique, and by the end, you'll be able to use this stylish effect in your own projects. Let's get started. I'll begin by creating a new composition. In the 3D renderer panel, I'll change the renderer mode to advanced 3D. Then I'll double-click the ellipse tool, which generates a circle shape at the center of the comp. I'll adjust its size to 500 by 500 pixels so we get a clean circle right in the middle. From the content section, I'll rename ellipse1 to base to make it easier to identify and control. After that, I'll enable the 3D switch for this layer. Press R to reveal the rotation properties and rotate it slightly for a better viewing perspective. All right, let's jump back into the shape layer. Inside the contents, I'll open up our base shape and delete the stroke to remove any outline that might appear around the shape. Now, I'll duplicate the base and rename it to bold gaps. This time, inside bold gaps, I'll remove the fill and add a stroke, so only the outline remains visible. I'll increase the stroke width to make it thicker. But here's the trick. Sometimes the stroke overlaps weirdly with the main shape. To fix that, all I need to do is set the opacity to 99% and the problem's gone. Now, inside the stroke settings, I'll hit the little plus next to dashes twice. That gives us gaps between the thick outline, turning it into a dashed circle. Next, I'll scale down the ellipse size so the dashed line fits nicely and snug along the circle. From there, I can tweak the dash and gap values until I get the exact look I want. All right, let's grab the bold gaps layer, duplicate it, and rename it to dash line. Now I'll open it up, go into the ellipse path, and shrink down the size. I'll also lower the stroke width and then adjust the dash and gap values. That gives us a thinner dash line with a tighter, denser look. All right, time to finish this off. I'll duplicate the base shape, switch the color over to white. And inside the ellipse path, I'll reduce its size so it fits neatly inside the chip. Then, just like before, I'll set the fill opacity to 99% so it doesn't clash with the other shapes. And that's it. We've got ourselves a poker chip. Now, to give the chip some depth, I'll go into the geometry options and increase the extrusion depth. I'll also change the bevel style to convex, which gives the edges a smoother, softer appearance. At this stage, it's important to align the anchor point to the center of the chip so that it rotates in balance. To do that, I'll right-click the layer, go to Transform, and select Center Anchor Point. Now the pivot point is perfectly centered, giving us a smoother and more natural rotation. Here, I'll set the X rotation to 90 degrees. Now, for our custom animation, we're going to use a free tool we released for the MotionDesk panel called Motion Expressions. You can find the full details on the product page, but installing it is super easy. Just drag the zip file into the drop zone in MotionDesk Panel. And that's it. What I want is a nice back and forth motion on the X rotation. So I'll launch Motion Expressions. Pick wave sign from the drop downs. Set the amount to 10 and make sure X rotation is selected before applying it. This gives us a smooth oscillating loop animation. Now let's do the same thing for the Y rotation. For this one, I'll select Wave Cosine in Motion Expressions and apply the effect. So now we've got this combined motion. To complete the animation and simulate a diagonal spinning motion, I'll select the layer, go to the Effect Controls, and set the X rotation offset to 90 degrees. As you can see, the result is a smooth diagonal rotation. Here's a small issue we need to fix. I'll open the bold gaps layer, go into the ellipse path, and slightly increase the size so that the main bold strokes extend beyond the edges and are properly visible. Next, I'll duplicate the completed poker chip and position the copy below the original. For this new chip, I'll increase both the X rotation amount and the Y rotation amount to give it more movement. I'll also adjust the vertical spacing so that the chips touch each other naturally. Additionally, I can change the color of each chip for variety. By repeating this process, I can stack multiple poker chips to reach the desired number. Now, let's move on to lighting and shading. I'll begin by adding an environment light, making sure that cast shadows is enabled. To enhance the shading quality, I'll open the composition settings, go to the 3D renderer tab, then click options and increase both the resolution and quality values. Next, I'll reduce the intensity of the environment light to balance the scene, and then I'll add 2-point lights with intensity set at 50, one placed above and the other below the objects. Finally, I'll adjust the specular shininess and the material options of the poker chip layers to achieve the desired reflective highlights. This creates a more realistic and polished final look. To polish things up, I'll add a camera, then create a 3D null and parent the camera to it. This way, I can control the viewing angle simply by rotating the null. I'd like the camera to have a smooth orbital movement around the poker chips. To achieve this, I'll select the Y rotation and apply the time asterisk factor expression from the Motion Expressions tool, setting the factor to 25. That gives us a smooth, continuous spin around the chips. And there we go. That's our final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. All the tools I used are linked in the description, so make sure to check them out and explore the rest of our tools too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.